to your favorite class? Was it 1 where you memorized dates for tests only to forget them the next day? Or was it 1 where you built a robot, wrote a play, or designed a solution to a real-world problem? Yeah, most of us chose the second kind, because when we do something, we actually learn it. Benjamin Franklin agrees with the statement. He said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." But today's schools focus mostly on telling rather than involving students. You can take me as an example. I used to think that English writing wasn't creative at all. This is because teachers chose the topic, handed us strict rubrics, and expected us to follow it exactly. I felt like I was learning how to follow a dish that I didn't even want to eat. This just taught me how to follow instructions. And it's not just all of us who think that the school system is failing. The data itself proves it. The National Assessment of Educational Progress recently shared that grades 4 and 8 have had their lowest test scores in 30 years. And students forget about half what they learn within just 24 hours. This is like trying to pour water into a leaky bucket. Our school system can be compared to a Rubik's Cube, full of potential, but many pieces are out of place. But why are Rubik's Cubes scrambled? First off, schools are stuck in the past. For too long now, schools have been built on industrial-era processes, with rows of students and one teacher lecturing in the front. It feels like we're being assembled across an assembly line. And this is not the model that prepares us for the real world. Second, students are disengaged and overwhelmed. A Brookings institutional study found that only a small percentage of us are truly engaged in meaningful learning. The vast majority of us are just going through the motions. And the stress is real. Mental health emergency room visits spike during the school year, indicating that the very structure of schools itself harms students. And lastly, creativity is declining. Dr. Kyung Kim Hee found that as students get older, their creativity scores actually decrease. This is as a result of schools only focusing on one correct answer, rather than looking at other possibilities. But what if I told you there was hope? What if I told you there's a solution to this problem, and it's already being used across the world? Its name is PBL, or Project-Based Learning. PBL flips the question from what do I need to know, which involves memorization, to what can I do with the information I learned, converting your knowledge into action. In PBL, students investigate real-world problems. So, use technology and present their solutions towards their peers. This is like being a designer, an architect, an engineer, and an artist all inside of this classroom. And in PBL, teachers aren't just lectures, they're guides. All projects start with a meaningful question, something creative and linked to the real world. Then, after that, students explore, reflect, and apply. But to understand how to solve our cube, we first must understand how PBL works. First, we do better by doing. When we actively transfer knowledge, we do better than when we just passively receive it. It's the doing, the applying, and the creating. Second, PBL boosts our motivation. PBL gives us a sense of autonomy and competence that when put together makes us more successful and more engaged. And PBL leads to deeper learning. From a meta-analysis of 66 studies, PBL students who learn through PBL perform significantly better than their peers. They're not just learning, they're learning how to transfer their knowledge into new situations. And lastly, PBL builds real-world skills. Critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication are just a few of the skills that employers want and the skills that we need for a rapidly changing world. But PBL isn't just a theory. It's already being used everywhere. In high-tech school in San Diego, students build assistive technology for people with disabilities and sustainable housing. They're actually making a difference with the knowledge that they learn. And for Finland, students learn with fewer testing and fewer homework, instead focusing on real community issues. And in South Korea's medical schools, what they found was shocking. They found that within just 6 months, students improved their communication skills by 20%. So, but PBL isn't the perfect solution. PBL has its challenges too. Some people say that it doesn't cover enough content or is too challenging, but that's not true. Yes, PBL may require skilled teachers, strong assessment, and careful planning, but with the right support, it does cover content and does build skills. So, where do we go from here? Solving our cube is not as simple as just turning one side, but it requires solving each individual piece. Mental health, engagement, creativity, and outdated methods are just a few of the problems we need to solve. But we can do it. We have the imagination. We have the research, the technology, and most importantly, the imagination to make learning meaningful. Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. So now, let's use it. Let's build classrooms where everyone can grow, learn, and thrive. The future of education is in each one of your hands. So now, let's finally solve our cube. Thank you.
We can see